If you're just joining this journey without having watched the previous videos, this video series is the story of my overland adventure through Oregon and Washington. Over the span of 2 weeks, I traced approximately 2,600 miles of rugged backcountry roads and remote Pacific Northwest wilderness, living out of my Jeep dispersed camping the entire time. I mostly followed the Oregon and Washington Pacific Crest Overland routes, and the Olympic Traverse route. I also deviate from the PCORs and follow a few small sections of the Oregon and Washington backcountry discovery routes at times, since they crisscross each other many times and often follow very similar or identical paths.
Check this thing out. Wonder how long it's been here. Good morning. We are up and going. Slept pretty good last night. We are headed to Lake Quinault area. Just right down the road, probably like a mile, if that. This is kind of what I came on this trip for, is the rainforest vibe. And the Olympic Peninsula delivers that like no other place can.
This is my first day on the Olympic Peninsula, and my first day on the Olympic Traverse route. I'm no longer on the Pacific Crest Overland routes, as they stick to the middle of both Washington and Oregon states. I had been looking forward to the peninsula for years and years before coming here, and this was literally a dream come true for me to finally be visiting this place. The peninsula is truly a wondrous, magical, moss-covered fairyland. Most people think of the rainforests on the Olympic Peninsula, and while it's true that it does house one of the last temperate rainforests on the continental United States, it also has 4 ecosystems in one place. You can stand on the Pacific coast, walk through a temperate rainforest, climb into alpine tundra with glaciers, and cross dry inland forests all within a few hours' drive. It's one of the only places on Earth with glaciers, rainforests, and ocean beaches in such close proximity. I had spent the previous night camped right down the road from Lake Quinault down a Forest Service road. Upon backtracking the short distance back to the lake, I immediately started the day off strong with my very first rainforest hike through the Quinault Rainforest. This is one of 3 rainforest hikes I had planned for the day.
Check that thing. Mushrooms. I'm gonna want to video this entire thing and I can't. Unless I want to fill up my SD card in 37 seconds. Oh, this is gonna be a struggle today. I am going to want to take all the video and all the pictures of everything. I think. Check that out. It is a tree growing over a tree. I don't understand. Look at the size of that thing. Oh, this big old boy.
After finishing the rainforest trail, I continued down the road along the shores of Lake Quinault, trying to work my way around the lake. On my way around, I noticed a marker for the world's largest Sitka spruce, which I obviously had to stop at. This bad boy has a diameter of approximately 18 feet 9 inches, a circumference of 58 feet 11 inches, and is 191 feet tall. It is estimated to be roughly 1,000 years old. It previously co-held the title as world's largest with another spruce in Oregon, but sadly, the Oregon one fell over in a winter storm in 2007.
Look at the amount of mossy trees here. If that's not a vibe, I don't know what is. The whole forest floor is moss. Look at the amount of moss on those mailboxes. This place is exceeding my wildest expectations. Just the... oh my god. Just... so mossy. Oh, this is hitting a spot. This is hitting a spot. This is borderline arousing for me. Covered in moss. These blue flowers are so pretty. Whoever made this, bravo.
Unfortunately, the way I was trying to go around the lake, which was counterclockwise, ended up being shut off. I knew at some point the road was closed because the campground I initially wanted to stay at, which is Graves Creek, was totally shut down. I thought I could still get around the lake though, but it turns out it was shut off. So I had to turn around and backtrack the way I came to get to the opposite side of the lake, which was where the next Rainforest Trail was. Overall though, I definitely wasn't complaining about meandering through this area. The next rainforest hike that I had on the agenda was the Maple Glade Rainforest Trail.
Look at that tree. That is insane. What in the world? Just got done with the Maple Glade Rainforest Trail. Well, I can't even handle this place. I am so glad that I have time to just really, really spend time here and not be in a rush. I can just meander on these trails, take all the pictures and videos. This place is amazing. And we're only like three hours into the day here on the Olympic Peninsula. I don't know what these blue flowers are, and I thought they were strictly planted, but I just seen them growing up the road. I seen them growing off the side of the road. So maybe they're planted. But I think they might just grow here. It's just fascinating. Look at the size of this tree. It's gigantic.
The peninsula is the ancient home to more than 8 native tribes who have lived here for millennia. The Ho, the Quileute, the Makah, the Quinault, the Klallam, the Ho River tribe, the Queets, and the Skokomish. Each of these tribes still has a reservation or community on the peninsula today. Very shortly after leaving Lake Quinault behind, we left pavement and started the first dirt section of the Olympic Traverse Overland route. The famous Highway 101 is the primary highway that encircles the peninsula. The overland route tends to generally go up into the mountains, up over a few mountain passes, along some mountain ranges, and then loop back down and reconnect to the highway. It'll then follow the highway for another short distance before repeating that same thing. With the geography of the peninsula, there's really no feasible way to stay away from pavement and off of Highway 101 for the entire circumference of the peninsula. Its goal is to get you up into the mountain ranges and passes that most tourists don't see. This first little loop took us over our first mountain range pass and then down into the Queets Rainforest. The Queets Rainforest area was absolutely insane. As somebody from the Southwest, I live in Utah, central Utah, this felt like another world to me. I felt like I was in Jurassic Park, like I should be seeing a group of dinosaurs munching on the ferns at any moment.
This place is absolutely insane. I think I'm in Queets Rainforest now. There's actually a campground over here. Highly recommend, 10 out of 10. If it was later in the day, even if it was only like 4 or 5 o'clock, I'd probably stay here. Unfortunately, there is a hike here for the Queets River Rainforest, or the Queets Rainforest, but you have to ford the river twice apparently, and it's a 3-mile loop, and I can't say Gabby because I'm inside the national park. So I don't think I'm going to do that loop. I'm not going to do the loop hike. Just to drive in here was worth it though, honestly. And now we got to backtrack back through there, which is going to be awesome again. I'm going to grab a drink, something to eat real fast, and then head back out. It's like a spruce that's mixed with moss. And it's so cool. Look at the size of that thing. There are so many mushrooms here. More mushrooms. I've seen more mushrooms in this 20-minute drive than I've probably seen in the wild in my life. If you're if you're on the west side of the Olympic Peninsula and you want a really rainforest campground that looks awesome, Queets campground. I will be staying here when I come back here. This is such a dope campground. And it's like down in here where maybe it wouldn't be as busy. There's only like 2 people. I mean, it's a Tuesday, but there's only like 2 people in there right now. A Tuesday at 2 p.m., but still, just the drive in here, it's worth it alone just to drive into the campground. Just the drive into it is worth it, even if it was full. I just spent like 45 minutes driving what was probably only a mile or 2, because this Queets rainforest area is just something. It's something. I don't even have words for it. But that's where we ate some lunch. I'm literally just right here, and it took me like 45 minutes. And I kept driving, seeing something, backing up, taking pictures. This place is crazy. And Gabby also quite likes it. Just her snoofler is just going in overdrive the whole time. Gubs, did your nose get tired of snoofling? Your snoofle muscles get tired or what? Look how dense that is. Like, it's just... you could barely even walk through there if you cut it at all.
After backtracking just a ways out of Queets Rainforest and hooking back onto the primary Olympic Traverse route, it wasn't too much dirt before it popped us back out onto pavement and then eventually back out onto the highway again. From there, we headed to the coast. I went into the Olympic Peninsula portion here knowing I wanted to stay at least one night on the beach. And unfortunately, as far as I could find, There's really no dispersed camping options if you want to stay on the beach. You can get kind of close in places, but not right on it. To stay as close as possible to the beach, your only real option are established campgrounds. My reservation was for Kalaloch Beach. I'm not sure how to pronounce it exactly. I found out afterwards that it's apparently quite hard to get reservations at this beach campground. I just happened to get lucky, I guess, because I got these reservations the night before with no issues. The initial destination here was Ruby Beach, as it was right down the road from my campground reservation. On the drive there, I noticed a map marker for a giant cedar tree. So naturally, I had to stop and check that one out.
This is called the Big Cedar Tree. And it appears to be exactly that. What in the world? That goes clear up there. It is indeed a very large cedar tree. Look at this offshoot. That's cool. It actually goes in the ground down there. It's like a little stabilizer arm on a backhoe.
Immediately spotting a bear and two cubs leave the tree line onto a very busy, popular, crowded beach like Ruby Beach was certainly not in my bingo cards for this day. I noticed the movement almost immediately out of the corner of my eye, and nobody else seemed to. Everybody was just walking by. She was probably only 70 yards away, if that. Once I started videoing and taking pictures, other people started taking notice, obviously. And once people started kind of approaching her, getting kind of close, I decided to move on and not to be witness to a bear mauling. I'm not sure what happened after I left. I'm assuming she went back in the trees because I didn't hear any screaming. I'm not sure why, but I noticed on every beach I visited on the peninsula here, these structures were very, very popular. Every single beach had some sort of hut or structure made, and they were everywhere.
Just got done visiting Ruby Beach. I seen a bear and two cubs on the way down. Completely, I did not expect a really busy beach to see a bear and cubs. People were just walking right by, oblivious. People are crazy, oblivious to their surroundings. I luckily had my 24 to 105 on, or 24 to 104, whatever it is. I luckily had that one on at least, instead of my 14 to 35. I would say I'm going to start carrying my tele lens around for that situation, but
That's probably a lie. I'm probably definitely not going to do that.
Tree of Life. That's pretty cool. We are out here on Quinault Beach. Our campground is right up here. Right up here, face tracking enabled, so this is not letting me point. I'm debating on going and getting my chair and setting it up out here to watch sunset. What we are going to do is go back to camp. We're going to get another camera battery. We are going to get the chair, some snacks, a drink, and we are going to come plop the chair out on this beach and await sunset. This campground is so busy, and as you probably know by now, I try to avoid campgrounds like this at all costs, but this is the only option to camp right on the beach anywhere remotely close to here. So here we are. It was 24 bucks. I'm right by the road, so I'll be hearing that all night. I'll be hearing my neighbors all night. But sometimes you have to, I guess. This is our humble abode. Check that light out. This is quite peaceful. We are just hanging out on the chair, enjoying this ambiance. This mist over here, this mist right there, is gonna be quite the vibe once it starts glowing with the sunset. I'm literally sitting in this chair waiting for it. It was so overcast, and it's all cleared out. It's all burned out now perfectly to where I'm actually gonna get a sunset. On the drive here last night, I kind of got some glimpses of sunset as I crested out of trees and over hills. And I realized that's the first sunset I've got on this trip. I've just been in real deep tree cover every other night during sunset until last night driving here. So this will be my first like hang out, not driving sunset in 6 days. That's kind of crazy.
Special thanks to the Overland Trail Guides team and contributors, and the Backcountry Discovery Routes team and contributors for curating and providing these incredible routes and providing access to the incredible wealth of knowledge that they do in regards to these routes and all the other routes that they have spent so much time on. Without them, creating a route like this trip from scratch would be incredibly time consuming.